Get started. Do you have a ruler? You need a ruler and a piece of Whisper White cardstock if you want to play along. Alrighty, good morning. This is Kathy Peck coming to you from Wichita Falls, Texas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is my weekly coffee and cards where I demonstrate just a little card project. Maybe you'll learn something new. So let's see, my blog is t-n-stamps.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Facebook at Kathy Peck /tnstamps, and that's spelled T&stamps. So we're gonna get going, and this morning I'm gonna show you a way to take a piece of plain white cardstock, stamp it all up, cut it up, and you make 4 cards. I saw this on a video by Suzanne Netz. She has Sun Stampin'. I follow her on YouTube. She's a Canadian demonstrator, and she's just awesome. She's inspired me a lot. So here we go. I want to show you the samples. These are some samples that I've made. We're using the Forever Fern stamp set, which is just lovely. It also has a die set that comes with it, but today we'll just use the stamp set. And if you're interested in it, let me show you. It comes in a whole suite, which is really, really fabulous. Oh, good morning, Pam. We're doing that technique that you and I did on Friday. All right, it's in the catalog on page 110. If you happen to need a catalog, just contact me. I'm happy to send you one at no cost. So let's see here. Here we go. Page 108 is the Forever Fern or Forever Greenery Suite, which has the Forever Fern stamp set and the dies. But this is the whole suite has the stamps, greenery, laser cut foil, golden hoops, the DSP, the embossing folders, and the trim combo pack. I really like the trim. And here's the stamp set right here on page 110. It's really, really, really nice. I think it's probably a big favorite in the stamping community. It's probably one of the most popular ones. I see a lot of cards made with it. All right. So here are my 2 samples. This was the first set that last week one of my teammates, Pam Watkins, and I got together and made. I used these colors. I used the shades of pink. And then last night, I made another sample using colors inspired from Leanne Graff. Leanne didn't do this particular technique, but she did stamping like this, and she used these colors. I just added some Sahara sand, which I accidentally stamped some green on top of my Sahara sand, so now I have to either figure out how to clean it up or get a new one. So this is with a grainy apple green background. This is with the gorgeous grape background. Coastal Cabana. And then this is the Sahara sand. And what I did is the little bits that we're going to trim off after we do the stamping and cutting, I saved and I put on the inside. See, there's that one. The bottom. And there. So today I'm going to use different colors. But you can pick whatever colors you want, whatever tickles your fancy. So, but to get started, you need a plain piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then a ruler. And what I do is I'm going to find the center. I line it up in the corner of my grid paper, and I'm going to find 4 1/4 and put the ruler all the way across at 4 1/4. And then on the ruler, find 5 1/2 and mark, put a circle, a little mark with my pencil. And that's okay. You're going to end up cutting the piece that has the pencil mark off. You'll end up trimming that off so that you don't even have to worry about erasing it. Now, if you watch Suzanne's video, she likes to measure both ways, I guess in case the paper's a little wonky, but it's fine. It's up here at 8.5, and I'm not worried about it. So there's my mark, my center mark. All right, I already have my stamps mounted and matched with color, and I'm going to use these for, I'm not using this one today, but I'm going to use these right here in the, and I'm going to start with this really long one with the skinny leaves. And I'm using Pretty Peacock with it. You'd be surprised, it comes out pretty nice. And to start with, you're going to just stamp, I guess you call it like around the circle, but just follow me. And you'll get it. We're just going to go around in circles. So I'm using the end of the stamp as a guide to get close to that dot. There's the first one. And then you just keep going around so that you kind of divide your paper into 4 parts. You see where I'm going here? There we go. That's the first one. And you'll be using this again, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and add another layer of these, extending it out towards the ends, because I do that later, but you can do it anytime. I'm going to do it now. So Pam and Kim, are you stamping along with me? All right, there we go. That's that one done for right now. Next, I'm going to add some, I went with a neutral color. I'm going to add some smoky slate in here. Checking to see if there's any comments. Whew. I have enjoyed, we've had 2 days of rain in Wichita Falls, and I have enjoyed every bit of it. My grass looks good, so I'm very happy for that. So you just smoky slate, and I'm just stamping in between here, and you're just going to go, oops, that one didn't come out very well. But even if it's a little shadowy, it's going to get covered up. So mistakes are easily covered with this particular stamping method. Alright, so there's that. And now we're going to add some shaded spruce with the little ones that look like this one. I don't know what kind of leaf that is, but little bubbles. I'm sure it has a botanical name. And I'm going to add these right here. The fun part of this was when you're done with all the stamping is cutting the paper and seeing what you have, picking your sentiment, and finishing it up. And just keep going around in a circle. Color doesn't matter. Look at that. I think that's coming out really good. Now we're going to go a little crazy and add some Pacific Point in here, some blue. Good morning, Bonnie. How are ya? All right. The blue is a nice touch. It complements the Pretty Peacock really well. If you look on Pinterest with this stamp set, you'll see people have stamped it in all colors. Someone did a card with all the new in colors using this. It's really pretty. I'm going to put some of this blue in here in this cluster in the middle. And just go around and stamp, stamp, stamp until you're happy. And then I'm gonna, see this stamp comes in 2 in different directions, so I'm gonna use the other one and stamp fill in a few more places. So this card's gonna have probably a lot of blue on it, or Pacific Point. Let's see where I need to put a little more color. I don't know. Maybe around the end here. You just stamp away until you feel you've done enough. You can put them at the ends. A little more at the ends to fill in these little open spots. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm going to come in with the dots. I like the dots on this, and I'm going to put dots everywhere with Gorgeous Grape. Just fill in the little spots. Just kind of adds a little bit of interest. I can imagine that it would be like raindrops. So Kim, is it raining out there in Burke as well? I'm telling you, I'm loving this rain. Although I think it's wreaking havoc on Jeff's sciatica. And perhaps my sinuses a little bit, but other than that, we're doing good. Are these little gray dot or grape dots showing up? There. That's it. I think I'm pretty content with that, how that turned out. Maybe one more. A little something up here. What's this one? This is that gray. I think I want to do a little bit of this. Add a little touch here. Yeah. Maybe a little bit there. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting rain in Burke. All right, I'm going to close up all my stamps real quick. Because otherwise I'm going to get ink on something that I don't want to get ink on, which is usually my fingers, and then it transfers to paper. And, well, you know how that goes. Alright, so those my colors again were Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, Pacific Point, Smoky Slate, and Gorgeous Grape. Like I said, you can use any color. Now we need our paper trimmer, and you're gonna just take this, turn this around, and you're gonna cut it at the long way, cut it at 5.5, just like you would trim your paper for making cards. And then you're gonna turn it around and cut it at 4.25. So you're gonna end up with 4 individual panels. And then this is the time, at this point, after you cut the panels and you look them over, see if you want to add any more stamping, embellishment, or not embellishments, but stamping, and then you add your sentiments. This is when I add my sentiments. And then we'll trim them a little bit and put them on a background. But look. Look at that, how different they are. Some have a lot of stamping, some have a little bit. Ooh, I think that came out really nice. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to put our sentiments on there. I'm going to use the sentiments. I have them laid out here. Stamping block. I want to say a happy birthday. I'm using the happy birthday from the Seaside Notions stamp set. I just like that particular script, the way birthday is written. So I think I'm going to make... And now what color? I'm going to stay neutral and stick with the Smoky Slate for my sentiment. I better stamp it here, make sure it's pretty straight. I can never get these stickers on just right. I mean, I'm glad we've advanced from the wood and having the sticker on one side and the stamp on the other. That's not bad. There's one. All right, and I'm gonna put that one on a smoky slate background. And I want to do a hello. And kind of, yeah, I think I like my hello like that. Now on this one, and I probably should maybe on this one too, I think I want to put a little something in the corner. I did it on the others, and I'm going to add a little, some more dots, some more purpley dots. Maybe not so bold, stamp off. Just a couple of little patches. What works real nice with this too is those new Artistry and Blooms. I think they're sequins. So you can put those on here. They look really good. Yeah, maybe that was a little too much there. Add a little more. Boop. The rain is just so calming. So, and then one more here, maybe. These I'll do really lightly. Well, with Gorgeous Grape, it's hard to get light. Okie dokie. Now let me finish my sentiments here. 2 more sentiments, and then we'll start putting them on a card base. I do have a shaded spruce base. I think I might do 1 sentiment in shaded spruce. Maybe this one. You can do this, you can do this, and I can do this, but I need a longer block to do it. Here we go. There's that one. Pacific Point. As I pulled my card bases to match the colors that I'm using today, so I want to try to use similar inks. Okay. I like to use the ink of the card base to match the sentiment. Does that make sense? Oh. Good morning, Sue. It's, yeah, you know, 86, that's not bad in Texas. And that's, yeah, I lived in Europe for a while, and when I got in the 80s in England, whew, that was terrible. So, yes, I understand that 80 can be very, very hot in the 80s. But we're actually having a cold front, and the temperatures have dropped down to the mid 80s, low 90s. And that's considered a cold front here in the summertime. Bonnie, that may sound kind of odd. But that's it. All right, friends, those are done. I'm telling you, I'm really liking this Forever Fern stamp set. I mean, I could have just bought the stamp by itself without getting any of the designer series paper and done a lot with it. Okay, so at this point, you look at the card and you decide where you want to trim, because this is actually 5.5 by 4 1/4, so it needs to be trimmed to fit on a card base, and I want to trim it down to 4 by 5.5, and I think for this one I'm going to cut off over here. So I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. And like I said, save those little inside bits to put on your liner. And I'm going to cut off here at the bottom. If it has a lot of stamping on it. This one won't, so I won't save these. And this one's going to go on here. So let me get these trimmed up. I think the same here. I'm going to cut this right here. Ooh, that's kind of close to the sentiment. Well, that was a mistake. Don't do what I did. Alright, this will go on the shaded spruce card base. This one I'm going to trim this side. Oh yes. And the bottom. Nope, not the bottom, the top. So if you all make any of these cards like this, I'd like to see what you come up with. So, you know, put them out there on the, you can, you know, just tag me on Facebook, and I'd love to see them. All right, this one, ooh, I'm going to trim off the top and down one side. So, oops. All right, here we go. Okay, I think, let's see, I'm going to put this, oh, I have to find a card that's, ooh. Alright, that's going to go there. Well, I'm going to have to change up the way they're going because of the way the cards are orientated. The way I cut my cards. Does that make sense? This can still go here. Here we go. Let's give this a shot and see what happens. Alright. I need some glue here. Oh, I wanted to tell you all something. I have a swap card. I got some swap cards in. Oh, let me show you this real quick before I forget. I have this really nice swap card I got from someone, and it was sitting in my photo stand, and all of a sudden the front fell off. And it looks like the person who made it used some type of snail. I'm going to assume it was the new snail, but not the plus. The regular. And you have to put, especially when you have a lot of weight on the front, you really have to put a lot of adhesive. So I would be inclined to add a little glue with the adhesive, especially when you have a lot of layers. Glue might be the best instead of just the snail or the tape runner adhesive, because it just, all these layers it doesn't hold. And they, you know, you're not going to have, sometimes if you put a lot of glue, and I am a little heavy-handed with glue, it does show through if you have one layer, but if you have 2 layers it doesn't show there. So let's hope that stays better. But anyway, I digress. Here we go. Let's get this finished. I did have a problem last week with my coffee and cards, and it got deleted because my phone overheated and just shut off. And now somebody sent me a text. What I find, with my phone, I have to make sure any open apps are shut. And that way it doesn't overheat. There's one. Now later I'll go back and I'll put a liner in there. And I apologize for the texting. Apparently I didn't mute my phone. Let me see if I can do that real quick. There we go. Done. So later I'll go back and go through these strips, and when I add a liner, because I always put a liner, I'll put those strips on there. Like I said, you can use the adhesive sequence. I think the Artistry in Bloom adhesive sequence would look really nice on this. I'm going to keep these relatively flat because some of these I'm going to send to my daughter while she's in basic training for the Navy, and they want things to be as inconspicuous as possible, you know. So keeping it flat will do good. Okay, this is gonna look good on the green. This is shaded spruce. Make sure my card orientation is going the right direction. I really enjoyed making these. I want to do a set with the note cards. You know, cut a piece of Whisper White down to, I think it's got to be 7, no, not 7, 6.5, oh, 7 by 10, and then find the center and then stamp and cut it in 4, and then I'll have 3 layers to go on top of the note cards. There we go. These are all finished. So that is how you make some quick cards. I think that was pretty good. I like doing that technique a lot. And these, this is my first set, the pink set. I did add a few of those little sequins there because it went well with the pink. This was a set I made yesterday using the colors from Leanne Greff. I think this is my favorite color combination right here. There you go, ladies. What do you think about that? So I hope you'll give it a try. I'd love to see your creations. For those of you that are in Dawn's group in the stars, you could throw one of these together if you needed to add one to your the Baker's Dozen. I still have, I think, 5 cards to go, so I'm hoping to get that done today. But it's been my pleasure sharing this with you. I'll be back next week with another coffee and cards, and we'll see what next week brings. Every week is something new. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad you liked it, Bonnie. You guys have a wonderful day. And if you're in North Texas with me, enjoy the rain. We don't get it very often, so we should enjoy every bit of it. Bye, y'all.